So, you think your bug-out bag could handle the end of the world? Think again. Because if your survival plan relies on gadgets, trendy gear, or the fantasy of going it alone, you're already making the same mistakes that real soldiers paid for in blood during World War II. Back then, survival wasn't about freeze-dried meals or tactical flashlights. It was about grit, adaptability, and knowing how to stay alive when everything else failed. Today, most of us have forgotten those lessons. Let's bring them back. The first and most dangerous mistake is the lone wolf mindset. The internet has glorified the image of the solo survivor, the rugged individual disappearing into the wilderness with nothing but a knife and a pack. It sounds heroic, but during World War II, that mindset was a death sentence. Soldiers who broke away from their units rarely survived. Those who did endure did so because of teamwork, not isolation. Allied squads behind enemy lines relied on each other for food, warmth, and safety. Civilians in bombed-out cities survived through cooperation and shared resources. Survival has always been about interdependence. In crisis, the strongest aren't the ones who stand alone, they're the ones who stand together. If your plan doesn't include people you can trust and depend on, you don't have a survival strategy, you have a fantasy. The second mistake is the tech trap. We've built a world that depends on technology for everything. GPS watches, solar panels, radios, drones. Modern survivalists treat gadgets as lifelines, but World War II taught a hard truth. Technology always fails. Radios jammed, engines froze, maps burned, and batteries died. The ones who made it through weren't the most equipped, they were the most adaptable. Soldiers learned to navigate by stars and landmarks, mechanics repaired vehicles with scavenged parts, civilians passed messages through hidden symbols and word of mouth. Real survival doesn't depend on a battery, it depends on your brain. Ask yourself, if your GPS failed, could you still find home? If your phone died, could you communicate? Tech is a tool, not salvation. In true survival, you are the technology. The third mistake is comfort addiction. We live in a time of luxury, heated homes, fast food, clean water on demand. Comfort has become our default, and comfort makes us weak. During World War II, survival meant pushing through cold, hunger, and fear for weeks on end. Soldiers slept in mud-filled trenches, shivering in rain-soaked uniforms. Civilians rationed food to crumbs and endured months under bombardment. Yet they kept moving, kept fighting, kept surviving. That resilience didn't come from gear, it came from grit, the quiet, stubborn will to keep going when everything hurt. Today, most people mistake convenience for capability, but when comfort disappears, so does composure. True preparedness isn't about having the softest sleeping bag, it's about being able to sleep on the cold ground and still wake up ready to move. The fourth mistake is neglecting the mind. We talk endlessly about gear, weapons, and skills, but forget that the greatest survival tool is the human brain. In World War II, commanders understood that morale and mindset could win or lose battles. A unit that stayed calm and hopeful could endure anything. A unit that panicked was already defeated. Fear, despair, and indecision killed as surely as bullets. Modern survivalists focus on physical endurance but overlook mental discipline. In any crisis, your emotions will hit first. Panic, confusion, disbelief. The survivors will be those who can slow their breathing, think clearly, and adapt fast. You can train this just like any muscle. Take cold showers, practice fasting, spend nights outdoors without your comfort gear, learn to be uncomfortable. The more your mind learns to control fear, the longer your body will survive. The fifth mistake is obsession with gear. Modern prepping has become a consumer hobby. Every week brings a new must-have knife, multi-tool, or ultra-light tent, but in World War II, survival wasn't about owning more, it was about using what you had better. Soldiers repurposed everything. Shell casings became tools, parachutes became blankets, and scrap metal became cooking pots. In occupied territories, civilians turned broken radios into hidden transmitters and melted glass into makeshift optics. Ingenuity beat inventory every single time. The man who could adapt and improvise outlived the man with the biggest pack. Try it yourself. The next time you camp or train, strip down to essentials and force yourself to make do. The more creative you get, the less dependent you become. The sixth mistake is forgetting your terrain. Many modern survivalists spend more time learning foreign bushcraft than understanding their own backyard. But in World War II, those who survived knew their environment like the back of their hand. Partisans in Europe lived off the land for months because they knew every trail, stream, and safe house. Farmers hid supplies beneath their fields and moved unseen through forests they'd known since childhood. Islanders in the Pacific used tides and winds to evade patrols and find food. Knowledge of your local land is priceless. Know your region's plants, weather, and geography. Learn which roots heal and which kill, where water collects after rain, where the wind shelters your fire. High-tech maps can fail, but instinct, earned through experience, never does. The seventh and final mistake is ignoring leadership. Every World War II survivor account tells the same story. Leadership saved lives, not rank or authority. True leadership, born from calm under pressure. In chaos, people panic, argue, or freeze. The one who stays centered makes decisions and keeps others focused becomes the difference between survival and tragedy. Leadership isn't about being the loudest or strongest. It's about taking responsibility when no one else will. It's the soldier who volunteers for the dangerous patrol so others can rest. It's the civilian who organizes a food line in a ruined street. If you want to be prepared for crisis, learn to lead. Start small, volunteer, guide teams, make decisions under stress. Leadership isn't a title, it's a habit forged in hardship. World War II didn't just change history, it redefined survival. The men and women who lived through it weren't superheroes, they were ordinary people who adapted, endured, and overcame. Strip away the gadgets, the comfort, and the noise, and what remains is the essence of human endurance. Courage, cooperation, ingenuity, resilience. Those are the real survival tools. So, before you load another piece of gear into your bag or binge another prepper video, ask yourself a simple question. Would this mindset have survived 1944? If not, it's time to rethink your plan. Because in the end, the world doesn't reward the best equipped. It rewards the best prepared. Stay sharp, stay humble, stay ready.